It's not my normal style to sit when I'm talking. But there was something about this week's service topic and the things I want to focus on that just made it feel right to be sat down. We're going to talk a little bit about love, and we're going to do it in two sections, and this is the first of them. And we've just had that series of amazing one-verse readings from some of our young people across the church. And I don't want to spend ages talking here, but I want to remind us of something that I suspect most of us know to be true, but sometimes forget nonetheless. And it's this: the love that is in God is the most powerful and most precious of things. I have lots of favourite books, but I just want to draw your attention to this one. It's called The Ragamuffin Gospel. It's by Brennan Manning. And Manning was an alcoholic and an ordained priest. He's a Roman Catholic. And he had then perhaps a particularly keen awareness of what it meant to need the love of God, and to feel that perhaps he wasn't worthy of it as well. Anyway, in that book he writes about when Jesus talks about needing to be like little children. And he remembers a story of a couple of parents and their 3-year-old boy arriving at his door and knocking, and he opened it, and the boy, with a very straight face, not glancing away at all, said, "Where are the cookies?" And Manning goes on to talk about what it's like to know and accept the love of God, the love of the Father for us. He says when children show trust, when they approach adults in their natural state, they tend not to beat about the bush. They tend to come knowing what it is that they want to ask or ask for. They say, "Where are the cookies?" And Manning says there is something for us to learn about coming to God and saying, "I know that you are love, and what I need most from you is love, so please would you love me?" Paul Simon, in his solo career, writes plenty of songs that seem to hint at who God is and how God might work. And in one of those songs he says the most frequent request God receives is, "Love me, please love me." The thing is that the way God works means that he finds this a very easy request to answer. He really does. There is something very much at the heart of who God is and how he has done things that means that loving us is his first choice. It's not just a priority, it's woven into who his character is. I remember at Bible college being asked by one of the lecturers a question, does God have limitations? And the general response of the room being, no, of course not. And the lecturer said, I wonder sometimes whether God is limited. He's limited by his character. There are things he can't do because he is good. And so he can't do bad things. He can't do evil. And so he does love, and he does it a lot. Those verses that we had read are all about how unending and consistent God's love for us is. He loves me, and he loves you. And in this week I have needed that love so much. I've been in some tough places, and I've needed it more than knowing that God has called me or commissioned me, more than knowing that God has an idea of what my next steps might be. I've just needed to know that he loves me where I am. And he does, and he loves you where you are. He just loves you. And he longs for you to walk up to him and say, "Father, where are the cookies? Where is your goodness? Where is your love? Where are the things that I need from you?" I think too many times I've heard Christians say, "Oh, love is overplayed. The love of God is overemphasized, and his wrath and his justice are underplayed." Now, this may indeed be true, but what I'd want to say is this: even though those other things might need to be brought into the light more frequently, talked about more often, recognised for their importance. This is not a binary thing. This is not an either-or thing. God is love. Those who know God know love. Those who know love know God. There is no substitute. And there should be no striving for anything more than just to be in the love of God. At this church, not that very long ago, just last year, we spent some time looking at the book of Leviticus. And understanding it meant looking back at the creation story and how God's crescendo was to this moment of creation of humanity. But that wasn't the end of it. The crescendo then moved on and grew more boisterous and more complete and more exciting and enthralling, because where it was going was this: God having time and space to share his presence with us, simply because he loves us. The Father loves you right now, today. I'm going to invite you to take a moment of stillness. There will be some music playing quietly in the background, nothing heavy going. And just say to God, Father, I want your love. Where are the cookies? Bring your love to me. Let's spend a few moments doing that.